Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the January 14th, 2024 Soul Circle session. We're in a funny time of year where, in the time that I'm doing these calls, you're going to see darkness descend upon us. So I might end up changing the lighting or something at some point because I'm on daylight lighting and then it will be not daylight soon. But hey, light is coming back. We are in this phase of like the light returns to us, right? As soon as the darkest time comes, then the light is always returning. So that's a cool energy for us to go into this week. I'm pulling the What's Your Power cards because I felt like this week we're almost like I felt in the collective energy that we've been getting a good amount of like motivation and energy to do things. And yet, I don't know if everyone else is feeling this way, but I've been feeling like sometimes the energy is there, but it's almost like finding it difficult um to actually manage to channel it out to use it all in a particular day. Like I felt like I was up all day yesterday so long and then I was like still awake at night. And so with this kind of excess energy, I'm thinking that, channeling it into things that are part of us helps us feel more powerful. So I was like doing some art, I was doing more writing, just trying to like move through all the things that, are kind of rising up. Maybe it's like an inspired type of energy, if I could try and describe it as well. So focuses for the week. We have health. Health is my power. Oops. Remember this mic is here and not hit it. Health is my power, which says I am healthy, I am energetic, I am vibrant, I am nourished and whole, and I radiate excellent health. So perhaps if you're working on a transformation quest and it's related to health, this is like a good week to start it or amplify it, maybe recommit to it. So we'll check in about those if you wish. But we generally will be doing our transformation quest like full check-in on Wednesdays. I will say this happened to me when I was coming back on the trains into Toronto before I got back to Scotland. And I had that 1.5 liter water bottle and it smashed to pieces. I was like going into the elevator to try and move. I had like a suitcase and a carry-on because it was all the stuff that I'm bringing from like my life back in Canada here. And my poor 1.5 water bottle, so going through, this was right before I went into the airports and everything. It was a couple days before that. So my 3 liter water goal was way more of a mission. Like I knew that the 1.5 liter was helping me get to my goal and it was making it so much easier per day. But I really got to live out, and I still am living out exactly how much easier it was making life. So I will be ordering a new water bottle because it was so helpful to me. But yeah, it was glass and it was, it was obviously dangerous to be just walking with 5 bags, and it like slipped off my pinky onto this like cement floor. It was brutal. So health is my power. Maybe for me as well, I'm excited this week going back to the gym now that I'm back in Scotland and I've been missing that being, away for the holidays. And so, yeah, if anyone has any like fitness goals and things like that they're working on, like strength quests, I'm really looking forward to those in my own journey as well. I was thinking I might start doing like a plank challenge, trying to get, more time out of it. Cause that's a quest. It's just like every time if I'm trying to get a little bit more time, then it's just a quest. It's just, we just see how much more I can push it. Maybe years from now, I'm doing it for like an hour, just planking. Okay. So yeah. And then we have gratitude is my power as well. And this is another really helpful idea, I think, as far as also keeping your energy high, because one of the challenges when we get this like, surge of energy, and if you haven't had that surge, it may be coming for you soon. Like in this collective kind of reading, we're generally a few days sort of apart from each other, depending on, where we're at in our lives. And then it's relative to like the choices that we're making. But I would say when we get all this like big amount of energy, being able to continue that and to keep upholding it, to hold that frequency, that's more where the brain has a challenging time, because it will almost like start to say, like, so in my head, when I was trying to go to sleep last night, it was like, oh, if you don't go to sleep now, then you're going to be tired tomorrow. And so it starts making up like a different plan, even though I actually still have energy today, and that wasn't true. And so I think the more we listen to that, though, like I was just discrediting the like, who knows if I'll be tired tomorrow. But your brain almost like offers it up as a way to try and balance things if you perceive that it's an imbalance. But if I perceive that this raise of energy is supporting me because I need to do more this year, and so it's giving me the energy I need, and I'm really grateful for that, then I think that's why it continued into today. And so if I can offer that out as like this gratitude allows you to actually kind of like bypass not the legitimate concerns, but the illegitimate concerns that your brain picks up on, right? Or the like worries or complaints that just naturally your brain will sort through to try and improve your life. When you actually look at what has already improved about your life, then your brain will look to more of those things as well, rather than looking to solve problems. And I hope that makes sense. So, what else do we need to be aware of? I feel like we're going to need to be aware of like being discerning with people this week. I also feel like the people that are coming kind of like in and out of this collective's lives, there's like a few, I don't know, it feels like there's like a female character that's going to come into at least a few of our lives here, that's going to help support you stepping onto like a path towards a dream, it feels like. So it's like if you have a project or a dream or kind of this like, yeah, maybe idea hanging out or this thing that you know you really want to do, but it doesn't really feel like time yet. I feel like you're going to meet this person and it feels like a feminine. So maybe it's just a male with, you know, more feminine energy, but it feels like a feminine figure who's experienced or knowledgeable in whatever direction that you're looking to go. And it feels like this person is actually going to like influence you in some way to feel way more aligned or to feel like you can do something faster or that it's like way more possible than you thought before. We have the Queen of the Light, so that actually makes a lot of sense. The Queen of the Light could be kind of you see this person that you connect to in this kind of maybe light way. Yeah, it's funny. It says illumination, enlightenment, and celebration. So it's out of this illumination moment. Like they're gonna say, "Hey, I've got this opportunity for you. You know, oh, I really want to, you know, share my baking with the world. Hey, I have a catering job coming up next month. What? You know, it's like that kind of thing where it's almost it just makes it like a straight path or shows you how possible something is for you. Let's see, and then I'm gonna do a prism oracle, and then we'll get into some individual readings because I'm always eager to jump into the actual soul circle. It's funny, it wouldn't make sense for me to do the collective reading at the end of our sessions, but I'm always like, no, I just want to be talking to everybody. So if you're watching on the YouTube and you want to be a part of the like individual reading side of things here, then do join the Soul Circle or reach out, message me. I'm pretty sure there's like a free trial on the Soul Circle. If not, then I'll add it. So after this video, there will be. So you can always try it. And then if it doesn't really feel like you're kind of seen and you'd rather work, you know, one-on-one or wait till the next empath energetics round, then that's fine as well. But I know some people are missing the fact that I was on YouTube and I used to do readings, but just really isn't viable to sit and give away all this like work and just to, you know, it's not actually helpful for people too. What I notice is when people actually do some type of investment of their energy into receiving, then they're actually able to take this wisdom and do more with it. Whereas if it's kind of these like high five, you pass by and, you know, you're just a little bit of encouragement, it helps, but it's maybe not doing the work that like you're actually looking for from me as well. I almost feel like people will want to work with me, but then the depth sort of is intimidating. I'd rather keep stepping towards that intimidating depth than just staying on that surface of the water, you know? So I'll be doing the next Empath Energetics round 6 and adding in some more stuff. I know anyone who's taken Empath Energetics is like, why would you add more in? But I think it'd be helpful. And then the grads have more stuff that, you know, will be different. So I'm going to add in some astrology and I'm going to add in more physical body practices as well. That's something that I've been wanting to do in the empath course for a long time to help with the integration. So yeah, we'll do that. That'll start in April. So mid-April is when we'll start the next Empath Energetic 6 round. So any of the grads or past clients who have had like a regular work with me, then you get access to a much more discounted rate because it's honestly just really valuable to have folks who are familiar with the process in the process. And then I'll be opening up a scholarship option, and then we'll do early bird offerings as well. And then as we get closer to, it's like, let's just get in there, and we'll fill out this lovely group. I already feel the energy, actually, which feels way early. I feel the energy of this next group, so I think it's going to be a powerful one. So we have the Hawk Prince, which says spirit communication and paying attention. So I'd say let's talk about upper world work this week. So let's talk about that a little bit in Soul Circle. Maybe I can talk a bit on Wednesday as well before we get into transformation quests. Because it does feel really, really like an upper world focused year. And that's what it feels like, the spirit communication and paying attention. So maybe we are getting signs. This is a theme of a few sessions that I've had recently. It's kind of like not believing that the signs are even there because maybe you're not actually slowing down to perceive them, to take them in. I really do think it's funny. I asked my dad years ago whether he saw repeating numbers, just curious, because he doesn't really follow a spiritual path, but I see him as a pretty grounded, like fairly, calm, reasonable, I say accidentally enlightened kind of human, just because he doesn't do anything to create that level of peace. He just got it with birth or something. And I asked him, like, do you see repeating numbers? Thinking, he's got decent energy alignment. Maybe that's at least by my perception. And he said, no. And I went, that's so bizarre because I just see so many a day. And I use it as this way to, like, yeah, kind of take a pat on the back or say, hey, this is a good thought that you're having at the same time. Or, it's so helpful for me. And it's just like a little thing that goes on in my brain. And to think someone's not doing that, it's like if you were a kid and you counted tiles when you would walk, or you'd walk in a certain pattern, like if anyone was like that, I was like that. It's like the weirdo at the mall who's trying to like step on different squares. I love that I see someone nodding in this full circle, so I'm not the only person who does this. But it's interesting because some people that would never even come into their mind. It wouldn't come into their brain. So part of opening up to spirit access is opening up the part of your brain to say, I'm going to keep like focusing on that and looking at that. Maybe at some point in our brains, we go, okay, it's a little inconvenient to always have to walk a certain way on tiles. I'm just going to try to be normal. I think for me, that's a really funny one, just like on a personal note here, because my mom has multiple sclerosis. And so they would say at school, step on a crack and break your mother's back. And I was like, I will not have that happen. And I really was this like kind of just sentimental, superstitious kid. And I think that's why I developed that for a while. It must have brought me some kind of comfort to know I was doing what I could to lighten up her back issues at the time. All right, I'm gonna pull one from Prism Oracle because I'm still feeling this deck, and then we'll jump into Soul Circle. Thanks. Whoop. Yep, lots wanted to come out here. So we have balance. And yeah, this is maybe part of us needing to balance like the surge of energy, or maybe you're not feeling the surge of energy and there's just some sort of like imbalance waiting to be sorted out. But none of us are in a constant state, right? So balance is this, yes, like kind of turning in between. I like that there's a circle and this kind of, I really think that makes sense for me with balance, this image. We have mystery as well. And we have happiness. I was also chatting with someone recently saying, it almost feels like right now we're not allowed access to a certain amount of information of how stuff is going to work out. And as a psychic, that can be frustrating. As an intuitive, you might also find that frustrating, that it's like you feel something, you see something. This mystery to me is like, it's actually something that I've asked for from my spirit guides to be like, don't tell me everything. You got to leave stuff like a mystery and a surprise, because that's the joy of like discovery. And if I were to kind of have a heads up about everything, it was almost like I would feel like I was living Groundhog Day. Because when I was first opening up my intuition, that is how it felt. It felt like everything that was happening, it was like a repeat. And I knew what was like, I almost was like bored by life because I had already previewed it or something, was the feeling. And so to say, hey, it's actually nice to have some things be unknown. It brings us actually more potential joy, because we can just say, hey, I can't even figure that out. I've only got to act from what I know here and right now. So I think it's a bit of a gift. Sometimes I can see, a good amount of things happening in the next year. I can kind of see timings of when they're most ideal and I work towards them. But I like to leave room for, hey, what if something totally unexpected, better than I could have ever imagined, shows up? And then we want to be able to say yes to that without feeling like it deviates from our plan or from what's working. So I think that's why sometimes we're not ready for the information. And so the spirit guides are like, hey, like we'd love to give you this information, but you wouldn't like it right now if I said it to you. But maybe 6 months from now, something changes and you are ready for that information because you've had some sort of perspective shift. So I actually love this kind of dance, this mystery, and not having all access all the times. I think that's actually an important thing. So let's switch on to our Soul Circle individual check-in time and anything else that YouTube needs to know. I'll be changing some stuff up on the channel, but you'll just see those changes as they come out. I'm just exploring some different streaming options and I'm just trying to find more ways that I could serve people that like works within their budget or their amount of time that they have. And I'm also really eager to share more music and fairy tale readings and things like that. So I'm recording some hypnosis tracks upcoming, partly because I also need some for myself. Like I don't have a hypnotherapy practitioner that I'm personally working with right now. And yeah, I was just really feeling like I needed a bit of a pump up, a bit of a bit more oomph on the on kind of like that inner system, that inner belief system. So I'll add some of those hypno boosts onto the Soul Circle resources and things and let you all know when they come out. Okay. See you later, YouTube. We'll be back Wednesday at least, or maybe before that.